What is materiality in legal evidence? Imagine you're trying to solve a puzzle, and some pieces are more important than others. In a courtroom, evidence works the same way. Not all evidence is equally useful. Some pieces are key to understanding what really happened. That's where materiality comes in. It helps decide which evidence truly matters to the case. In legal terms, materiality means that the evidence is directly related to a fact that could change the outcome of the case. For example, if someone is accused of stealing, a video showing them at the scene is relevant. But for that video to be material, it must also be important to proving whether they committed the theft. If the video shows them somewhere else, it might not be material. Relevance is the first step. Evidence is relevant if it makes a fact more or less likely. For example, a witness seeing someone near the scene makes it relevant. But relevance alone isn't enough. The evidence must also be significant enough to influence the court's decision. That's where materiality comes into play. Material evidence must have the power to affect the court's judgment on a key issue. Think of it as the evidence that can tip the scales. If a person's financial records in a fraud case show clear signs of deception, those records are material because they directly relate to whether fraud happened. If the records are just about unrelated personal expenses, they are not material. Probative value is another important idea. It refers to how well the evidence proves something important. Evidence with high probative value is usually considered material because it can strongly support or disprove a fact. Courts also look at rules of evidence to decide if the evidence can be admitted. Even if evidence is relevant and material, it must meet legal standards to be accepted in court. Materiality helps judges and juries focus on the facts that really matter. It prevents the court from wasting time on irrelevant details. For example, in a breach of contract case, emails discussing the contract terms are material because they directly relate to what was agreed upon. On the other hand, unrelated emails about personal matters are not. Materiality also plays a role outside criminal and civil trials. In securities law, a fact is considered material if a reasonable investor would think it's important when making investment choices. So, materiality is about making sure the evidence presented is significant enough to influence the case's outcome. It's a way to keep the focus on facts that truly matter in legal decision-making.